Okay, here we are. We are going to feed our starter this morning. I've taken this out of the refrigerator where it was resting. You can see it's risen past the blue rubber band, which means it's active. It's bubbling. I don't know if you can see that, but it's active. It's eating. It's giving off carbon dioxide. So we're good there. Here's how we're going to do it. We're using a gram scale. We put a bowl on it. We're going to zero that out to 0 grams. Now we're going to add 50 grams of all-purpose fat flour. You can use bread flour, but why waste it when we're just feeding the starter? Later, when we create the seed, the bigger bulk part, we're going to actually use bread flour for that one. So, let's see. And it's good to be precise, as baking tends to be. I mean, if you go a little over, don't sweat it. Okay, now I'm getting a little silly. Okay, there we are. We're at 50 grams. We're going to add 50 grams of water to that. So I'm going to zero it out again. And we're just going to go in. Let it catch up with you because you can easily overdo it. If you do, spoon out a little bit. Okay, we got 52, but that's fine. We'll be really hydrated. Then we're going to take 10 grams of this starter we already have. This one's a little harder to take out, so I dribble it in and check my numbers. Because once it goes in, it's kind of like trying to remove egg whites. I think I can go in just a tiny bit more. Okay, and that's all it takes. Now I'm going to take this and stir it. Again, this is so easy. This is why the bread is so fabulous. It's just the natural starter, which is already water and flour and yeast that it's taken out of the air. Very natural. There's nothing else in here. And in fact, that's all it's going to be in your final bread except for some salt. Now that flour is going to hydrate with the water, and the little plants that are our yeast are going to feed off of that wonderful combination of flour and water. Flour being slightly, not very complex sugar, basically a sugar. Now I'm going to drop this in, and I'm trying my best not to have it touch the edges of the jar, because then it just dries out and it's yucky, and who likes that? And the last thing I'm going to do, so that I can see the progress of my lovely starter, is I'm going to put a rubber band at the level, and we're going to leave that on the bench. This is going to develop, and we'll start to see it rise. We'll see it be active. It's going to get bubbly, and 12 hours from now we're going to feed it again. We're going to get the baby on a schedule of eating and sleeping. So right now we're in the eating phase. When you put it in the refrigerator because you're not going to maybe make a loaf of bread for a week or a couple of days, that's the sleeping stage. Right now we're active, we're playing, we're having a lot of fun, we're eating stuff. So that's the beginning. 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water by weight, and 10 grams of the starter. This that we have left over, you can dump. It's not precious. You can get rid of it. Or you can use it to make sourdough pancakes, sourdough waffles. There's a whole bunch of things to do with leftover starter. You can look it up on the internet and then just go completely wild. But meanwhile, the thing that we really care about today is this. This is our baby, and she's active and she's awake. It could be a he, I don't know. All right. So we'll have another one for the next feeding, and then we're going to do what they call the seed. We're going to create the seed for the bread itself. Bye.